One of the other initiatives that we have is Justice for Jawara and Justice for All. Some of us have heard about my father's youngest son. In 2017, he was arrested for cannabis and in New Jersey. He was then went back and forth for about three years. No, in 2016, 2013, he was arrested for cannabis. Went back and forth for about 3 years, going to court, pre-trial motions, before finally turning himself in. The judge actually initially charged him and said that he would serve 20 years in prison for cannabis possession. That was something that, as a Rasta and as someone who had, you know, cannabis as really their lifestyle, it was hard to say I'm going to go to jail for something that I believed in. But in New Jersey, it's a very antiquated. They have antiquated laws. They're very. It's just a backward system. He shared being in jail with someone that was like 17 over like an ounce of weed, who couldn't make $150 bail. And so he's in this place where, on one hand, he wants to fight for what he believes in, but on the other hand, he doesn't want to be, you know, made a mark, so to speak. Like proof, you know, the system using him to prove a point. And so he ended up accepting a plea. After finally kind of accepting the plea, he was in jail for about a month and a half before being attacked by another inmate, and then suffered a severe brain injury. And to this day, he is unable to do anything for himself, and so needs 24-hour care, cannot walk, cannot talk. And so what we do and what I do is really share his story to really push for criminal justice reform in the United States, because prison is supposed to be to change someone so that they can come out and reform them, right? Yeah. It's not supposed to be this punitive environment where you go lock, you know, throw away the key and anything possible can happen to you. And anyone that knows anybody that has, you know, dealt with the prison system, there's some terrible stories no matter where, you know, what country you're in. And the people that are in there, and in the States, you have people that are in there for cannabis possession, and a lot of them look like us, even though the use of cannabis is universal. As my father said, lawyers, doctors, everyone uses it. But the people that go to jail for it often look more like us. And the sentencing that comes to people that look like us, you can have a white man and a black man for the same amount of weed. One will get a smack on the wrist and say, you know what, go do community service, and the next one will get 3-5 years in prison. And so we have this very racist regime that, you know, one of the reasons I share my brother's story is to say, to humanize, you know, that real people and families are affected by these laws, and it's time that we change the laws. It's time for cannabis to be legal on a federal level, national level, on a global level, and the suffering is happening across the globe. There's no other country that's doing that and impacts people. And you have Japanese Rastas, and you have, you know, Rastas in South Africa, and you got Rastas here all over the globe that celebrate the power of this music and the power of this country. So as a people, we have to make sure that we always documenting and always taking pictures and interviewing and sharing our stories, and even our personal stories. If you have children, a bedtime story needs to be about your grandmother and your auntie, and you have to pass on what you have to the next generation, because it's up to us to really hold on to what's important to us. And so one of the things I push for everyone to do, I have yet to go to like the Marley Museum, so I'm actually going to do that on Monday. But check out the history. Go and learn about the things that are important, you know, and then pass those. Give that gift of knowledge to the next generation, because it's something that cannot be taken away. And so one of the things that are a huge initiative is to make sure that the museum stays in existence, and to also grow the museum so that everyone across the world and in Jamaica can have this peace. My father was the son of reggae, as he's been titled on his tour jackets, and so all of us need to own that as your legacy. He came from all of us, you know, he lives within all of us and has inspired all of us. And so please do check out the museum. And then the last initiative that we have is the Global Community Initiative. My father, as you know, sung about apartheid. He also has sung about Mama Africa and the importance of just having that connection. And so the Global Community Initiative is really so that we can do different initiatives around the world. And Africa really is what I was thinking in the back of my head when we launched that one, is developing partnerships so that we can do different empowerment and upliftment initiatives within the motherland. It's very, very important that we maintain that connection, because that also is something that lives within us as well. And so, if there are any other questions, Isis does amazing work. She's a journalist. She's a DJ. She's a everything. She doesn't realize it, but she does so many great things, and bringing all of these musicians together to really keep the music, keep the message, keep the vibe alive. All of it, all of the work is important. So I thank you all for coming. Make sure you come out Tuesday, as Akeda said. She's the logistics person. See, already shooting up the time, 7 to midnight. So make sure you come. You'll learn about the meaning of the reason why we called it "Can't Blame the Youth." So Google up the song, because it has some a very powerful message behind it. I touch upon Mystic Man, which is a song that talks about, I don't drink no yellow, blue, green soda. You know, and so with the young people, I make sure they understand how important it is that the mind and the body and the gut are connected, and so you are a lot more powerful as a human when you clean yourself from the inside out. And I talk about equal rights and justice. You know, with a school like Haile Selassie, I remember visiting for the first time, and if you haven't visited, you should probably contact it and visit, and even donate your time if you can't donate your money. Even if it's like cleaning up something, say I'm gonna clean up this something in the school, because the condition of the school, to know that it was given to the country from Haile Selassie himself. Visited Jamaica, loved the country, and said, I will give you the gift of education, which is an amazing gift to give. But then, as a country, we weren't able to upkeep the school. And the community that it is one thing, but just going in and once I visited, I was like, I have to, you know, we have to have a relationship with these young people and have them understand that this is not okay. You know, you have a school, you know, 10 miles away. Like, I remember going to Arden High, and I was just like, oh my, and those were the two first schools that I really visited. I was born here but raised in the States, so when I went to just 2 different schools like that, and to say, wow, and we have the same thing in the States. It's, you know, not, but the condition of Haile Selassie, I just haven't seen a school in that condition. The bathrooms were, they had to run and fetch water to flush the toilets. A lot of the classrooms, there were just old furniture piled up in some of the back of the classrooms, with paint coming off the walls, and not even only paint, but like the whole wall coming down, and leaks here and leaks there. And so, yet you have kids that have to come to school every day and be happy to come to school and learn, and understand that they have the power to really educate and not be their circumstance. You know, we wear many hats. Akeda's, it's been a blessing. So I just show up. She handles all the logistics, and I'm the visionary, but she dots the I's and crosses the T's. So together we do great work, and with everybody else's support, because we can't do this work without everybody else kind of helping to kind of push the message, you know, one step further, and each one teach one is how it works. So thank you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Niambe, Mcintosh, daughter of Peter Tosh.